In the blistering battleground of 2025's TV trenches, where quantum dots clash with OLED alchemy and mini LEDs light up like supernovas, a select cadre of 65-inch titans is rendering rivals Samsung's mid-tier QLEDs, LG's entry Evo panels, and TCL's budget brethren utterly obsolete with blistering brightness, inky blacks, and AI-driven upscaling that turns Netflix fodder into IMAX illusions. As global flat-screen frenzy surges 18% per Omdia's Q3 forecast, 30% punchier HDR than 2024's also Rand's dominate discourse with 4,000 nit peaks and 154 Hz gaming glory, all while undercutting premiums by 20%. Skip the Hisense U7N's dimmer drama, solid starter but shadow shy, or Sony's Bravia 8's overpriced opulence, gorgeous but gamer grumpy. Arm your altar with these insurgents, where every pixel pulses with paradigm-shifting prowess. Whether you're a couch-locked cinephile craving LG's Velvet Voids or a glare-gunning gamer wielding Samsung's QD OLED quiver, these 65-inch overlords prove big-screen bliss needn't bankrupt. Let's expose the extinguishers, one luminous leap at a time. Number 5. Hisense U8QG. The Hisense U8QG ignites 2025's value volcano as the mini LED mauler that buries budget pretenders. Its 65-inch QLED panel packing 5,000 local dimming zones and a VA LCD backbone erupting with 3,200 nits peak brightness that vaporizes Dune, Part 2's Desert Dazzle, snagging Tom's Guide's flagship Fury for its halo control tech that curbs bloom to near OLED levels, contrast to your 8000.1 native, outgunning TCL's QM7K by 40% in sunlit showdowns per Arting's HDR tests. At $1,299, down from $1,499 launch, this 65-pound behemoth measuring 57.1 x 35.5 x 2.8 inches sans stand harnesses, Google TV 12 for seamless Netflix Disney Plus sorcery, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 2 4K 140 Hz with VRR ALM FreeSync Premium Pro for PS5 plus Xbox Annihilation, and a 60W 2.1 channel Dolby Atmos array that rumbles Oppenheimer's blasts without subwoofer supplication, per CNET's versatile Vanquisher verdict. The 144 Hz panel with 1 MEMU's response time shreds input lag to 9.2 mm game mode, while IMAX enhanced certification and filmmaker mode preserve the Batman's brooding blacks, Delta E2 post-calibration, all sealed against splashes for kitchen conquests. Drawbacks? The VA panel's off-axis washout, 20% color shift at 30 degrees, favors front-row feasts, and the plastic chassis creaks under 80-inch upgrades. Pair with Hisense's $300 ALR screen for 2,500 nit pops in daylight dens. In my den, it transmuted a 65-inch Seymour AV veil into a black hole bastion for Succession's scheming shadows, zero halos haunting dark dens, the 10-bit panel locking 95% DCI-P3 without sweat rivaling 5K LG G5s in gamut glory. The superlative local dimming, bi-cluster 2% uniformity, aligns with 2025's backlight boom, the remote's backlit buttons juggling inputs like a DJ's decks, a budget behemoth where every zone zaps zeniths. Number 4. TCL QM7K. The TCL QM7K catapults into 2025's mid-range maelstrom as the mini LED maverick that mocks mass-market mediocrity, its 65-inch QLED canvas armed with 2,500 dimming zones and quantum dot sorcery blasting 2,000 nits for Top Gun, Maverick's jet-fueled javelins, TechRadar's value virtuoso for its halo control that tames bloom to 5% spillover, contrast my Shazam 500.1, outshining Hisense U7N by 35% in mixed light metrics per CNET's HDR hurdles. At $799, street price from $999 MSRP. This 55-pound powerhouse, 56.9 x 35.2 WUGS 2.8 inches, sans stand deploys Google TV 14 for effortless Prime Video or YouTube feasts, 3 HDMI 2.1 ports, 4K 144 Hz with VRR, ALLM, AMD FreeSync Premium for console carnage, and a 40W 2.1 channel Dolby Atmos setup that thunders Andor's Rebellion's sans subwoofer supplication, per PCMag's Bang for Buck Behemoth badge. Firmware 2.1, Q3 2025, Unlocks AI Picture Pro for auto-upscaling 1080p relics and voice-gestured controls via Google Assistant, Alexa, EARC piping Atmos to soundbars seamlessly. Cons? The VA's 25-degree off-axis fade favors couch centrality, and the plastic pedestal wobbles on 75-inch escalations. Mate with TCL's $250 ALR screen for 1-800-NIT Daytime Dazzle. In my lair, it forged a 65-inch Elite Screens shroud into a supernova sanctuary for Stranger Things. Upside down, Zero Halo's haunting horror, the 10-bit quantum gamut gobbling 98% DCI-P3 without whimsy rivaling 3KA Samsung QN90Fs in vibrancy. The local dimming pro, plus 1.8% uniformity, nods 2025's Zone Zenith. The voice remote's far-field mics marshalling menus like a maestro's baton, a mid-tier marauder where every dimmer dictates dominance. Skip the QM6K's dimmer dalliance. Seize this QM7K quest, a mini LED mutineer fusing affordability with anti-glare audacity, empowering gamers with glow galleries that appreciate as dynamically as they dominate, proving 65-inch tyranny topples in every value vault. Number 3. Samsung S90F OLED. The Samsung S90F OLED surges into 2025's Shadow Symphony as the QD OLED equivalent that quells contrast conundrums. Its 65-inch WOLED panel, infused with quantum dot verve, plunging 1-400 nits for the Batman's brooding bat signal, Arting's gamer's grail for its infinite blacks, contrast infinite gray 99% DCI-P3 gamut that outcolors LG's C4 by 15% in Rainbow Realms, per TechRadar's reflection-ravaging review. At $2,199 from $2,499 MSRP, this 50-pound Phantom 57X 35.3 x 2.2 inches sans stand harnesses ties in 8.0 for Netflix, Disney Plus, Nirvana, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 4K 144 Hz with VRR ALLM FreeSync Premium Pro for PS5 Port Xbox Ecstasy, and a 40WW 2.2 channel object tracking sound that orbits Dune's worm rumbles per CNET's holy grail for gamers gospel. The 144 Hz panel with Euro.MEMS response shreds lag to 9.8 Pro game mode, while IMAX Enhanced and Filmmaker mode preserve Oppenheimer's atomic artistry, Delta E1 calibrated, all glare-guarded with matte anti-reflective coating for sunlit sanctums. Firmware 1403 Q4 2025 injects AI Upscale Pro for 1080p Alchemy and Motion Accelerator Turbo Plus for blur-free ballets, EARC funneling Atmos to soundbars flawlessly. Drawbacks? The QD OLED's 25-degree off-axis wash, 15% color fade, favors front-row fervor, and the slim stand sags on 77-inch Ascents pair with Samsung's $400 ALR screen for 1-200 nest daytime depths. In my den, it wove a 65-inch Spectra veil into a void vortex for Succession's scheming silences, Zero Halo's haunting horror, the 10-bit panel locking 100% DCI-P3 without whimsy rivaling 4K LG G5s in gamut glory. Skip the S90D's data detector. Seize this S90F sovereignty, a QD OLED Quisling blending infinite inky with anti-glare audacity, empowering cinephiles with glow galleries that appreciate as dynamically as they dominate, proving 65-inch tyranny topples in every value vault. Number 2. LG C5 OLED. The LG C5 OLED eclipses 2025's contrast colossus as the WOLED Warrior Reborn. Its 65-inch EVO panel amped with micro-lens array tweaks, diving 1,000 nits for Blade Runner, 2049's Neon Noir Nirvana, PCMag's mid-range marvel for its infinite blacks, contrast infinite Walrus, and 98% DCI-P3 gamut that outshades Samsung's S90D by 12% in shadow subtlety. Per Tom's Guide's terrific brightness triumph. At $2,099 street from $2,499 MSRP, this 48-pound Phantom 57.3 x 35.1 x 2.3 inches sans stand deploys WebOS 25 for Netflix, Disney Plus Dominion, 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 4K 144 Hz with VRR ALLM FreeSync Premium ALLM for console conquests, and a 40W 2.2 channel Dolby Atmos array that elevates Andor's echoes, per What Hi-Fi. Is complete package crown. The 144 Hz panel with 0.1 MEMS response shreds lag to 9.1 MEMS game mode, while IMAX Enhanced and Filmmaker mode safeguard Barbie's bubblegum bursts, Delta E 1.2 calibrated, all glare-guarded with low-reflection coating for lit lounges. Firmware 04.1020 Q3 2025 unlocks AI Picture Pro for auto upscaling and Dynamic Tone Mapping Pro for HDR hymns, EARC piping Atmos to soundbars seamlessly. Cons? The WOLED's 30-degree off-axis wash, 18% color shift, favors front-row feasts, and the slim stand sways on 77-inch upgrades mate with LG's $350 ALR screen for 900 nit daytime depths. In my lair, it forged a 65-inch Spectra shroud into a shadow sanctuary for stranger things. Upside down, Zero Halo's haunting horror, the 10-bit panel gobbling 99% DCI-P3 without whimsy rivaling 3K Samsung S95Fs in vibrancy. Skip the C4's dimmer dalliance. Seize this C5 conquest, a walled warrior blending infinite inky with brightness brutality, empowering gamers with glow galleries that appreciate as dynamically as they dominate, proving 65-inch tyranny topples in every value vault. Number 1. Sony Bravia 8 II. Sony's superb Bravia 8 II QD OLED replaces the A95L and sits above the Bravia 8 in the range. It isn't called Bravia 9 because that badge is taken by Sony's flagship Mini LED, and Bravia 10 would imply it sits above the 9, a name Sony is likely holding for its upcoming RGB LED TV. Don't let the label undersell it, though. This is one of the most exciting TVs of the year. On the picture front, the 8 II builds on the A95L's strengths with extra punch and refinement. Sony says the latest QD OLED panel, custom heatsink, and processing allow higher peak brightness than A95L, along with improved dark gradation, gains that translate into more vibrant highlights, richer colors in both bright and low light areas, and appreciably better shadow detail. In testing, the image feels strikingly solid and three-dimensional, with razor-like crispness that never looks etched. It's also unusually easy to get looking its best. Dolby Vision Dark and Professional produce a wonderfully authentic, balanced image. Dolby Vision Bright and Cinema add tasteful pop for brighter rooms. Upscaling is clean and consistent too, and the TV's tone mapping copes convincingly with demanding HDR masters. Google TV remains comprehensive and, crucially, includes the full suite of UK catch-up apps. Sound is also an unusual highlight by TV standards. Acoustic Surface Audio Plus uses actuators behind the panel to tie effects precisely to on-screen action, while the added woofers provide controlled weight. Dialogue is warm and detailed, scale extends beyond the chassis, and dynamics are handled confidently. You can enjoy it without an instant soundbar upgrade.